Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Christmas songs have been playing in the office all fucking day. It is the 14th of November.
Correct.
It's grim. Shouldn't be fucking played this early. No chance. I'm sick of it. What I'm not sick of is how much shit we've missed in the last 2 weeks of not podding. No, 1 week.
Yeah, we only missed last Friday, but that was because of logistical things like me getting a new job.
Work's been very, very busy.
Work's been very exciting. I'm probably the happiest I've been in the last 20 years work-wise.
Me and Ash now work together.
Mental. Which
is, we'll go down a little bit of history. This is, without fangirling, but it is fangirling, is one of the happiest moments of my life. So me and Ash haven't worked. We've known each other for what, 6 years, I think? Coming on 6 years.
So I didn't like you for about a year.
Yeah, I've been doing this for almost 6 years, so I've known you from the start of that. And we haven't worked together for pretty much 5 years of that.
Uh-huh.
So we've been doing a podcast, we've been talking, blah, 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 but we haven't actually worked with each other for a considerable amount of time. And there's been so much begging in the background by me to get this man to come work with me. And finally, we fucking caught him.
Snagged me.
Caught the big fish. And it's been one hell of a week. Oh my God, the gang's back together. Fucking you, me, Connor, Daryl. Manister's gone.
Oh.
It's a dream.
It's fantastic. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely love it. I'm very happy. Definitely the right choice.
All the games. All the gaming, fucking conversations, just it's everywhere. We're professional at work, we're unprofessional here. Oh, fucking hell.
Bang on.
Bang on.
Bang on.
GTA's been delayed.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot about that. I read it and I was like, wow, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I think I was not annoyed at all. But when Steph told me, I went, fuck's sake, I said, for fuck's sake. But not out of pure annoyance, just like little annoyance. You know what I mean? I was angry for about 5 seconds and then fine. Because for me, and I think for most people, it's just been so fucking long. It's been so long where it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. You're going to delay it. Like, it's beyond the point of really caring. You feel me? You understand?
I feel you, I just don't care. I mean, it's going to come when I'm dead at this point. I would have thought they'd have released another trailer by now because of that, but I guess not. I'm sure it'll come before Christmas.
Someone made a good point of, you think that's bad, but see what Bethesda did with Skyrim, where they just gave you a mountain range and then went, bye.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls.
It's there.
That was about 10 years ago.
A long time ago, man.
People still dissect that trailer and be like, it must be Hammerfell. And it's just like, come on, man. That was so many years ago.
They've got nothing else to fucking go by. Yeah, we won't. That's GTA out of the way. We've spoken about that for fucking millennia. That's been spoken about to death.
It's another year away at least now, so we might as well just ignore it for 6 months and then get excited again.
Have you been seeing much on Black Ops 7?
I saw some
fucking hell.
I saw some geezer, like, because they love the movement in Call of Duty, didn't they? I saw some geezer like slide and then jump over everyone's heads, do a bit of wall running. I was like, I'm so glad I'm not playing that.
I see a geezer that had a perk that turns him fully invisible.
Great.
And then he just ran around a corner because it was the POV of the person that got killed. And I think at first they thought they got hacked, but it's literally, they're just running and they die, and then as they die, the person comes out of their like invisibility, and he's like, what? And then when he watches the kill cam, the geezer like does something, I didn't see what, whether he's touching his watch or some shit, and then fully cloaks himself and then goes running off and kills people.
Great.
Obviously the minute you fire a gun you're out of invisibility, but I was like, who the fuck thought that's a good idea? I've seen the campaign's got zombies in it and some big massive boss geezer with mechanics. It looks really weird.
Call of Duty has just completely and utterly lost every piece of identity it's ever had. Call of Duty used to be like. Did you ever play Medal of Honor?
Yeah.
Remember Medal of Honor, like the first ever one when I was a kid, and you were doing like the Battle of Normandy Beach and stuff, and it was like the most epic thing you've ever seen. And Call of Duty was like battling with that for like military shooter, like realism, dark and gritty. And now it's just, it's just, I don't know what it is anymore. It's just like it's like pop culture, isn't it?
Fortnite,
It is
but done wrong.
Yeah, basically.
Because at least, like, I feel like Fortnite set the precedent of being what it is, a battle royale that has since turned into just fucking, you can do whatever you want on. Well, Fortnite got its thing from just stealing its ideas from everyone else, but just doing it better.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not forget that most of their shit is just stolen off of something else, or very, very closely similar, but legal and done very well, and they're very, very popular for it. It's fair enough, and it was a good battle royale, still is. And the cosmetic side of it is top notch. I feel like Call of Duty just tried to muscle in on that, and it's just utter shit. It's utter shit. Why is fucking Beavis and Butthead being killed by Nicki Minaj? In what world is that a thing with an AR-15? It makes no sense to me.
It's alright in a cartoony game like Fortnite, but in a military shooter like Call of Duty, it's just weird.
It's just doesn't hold that title anymore. Not when Battlefield 6 is there as well. But even then, they want to be fucking careful with the Portal. And that weird shit that I'm seeing coming through that. Like keep it there. Don't start introducing that into.
Yeah, but that is what it is. It's user created stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not. That's all separate.
The fucking you see him on GTA all the time in like the private server, like private matches and shit like that, where it'll be like a gradient, like a hill or a bridge or something, and you've got to try and run up it while cars and shit are being sent down and blowing up, and you've got to try and zigzag and avoid them. I'm pretty sure I see a clip of Battlefield 7 where that is in the campaign.
Battlefield 6, yeah.
Sorry, Black Ops 7.
Oh, Black Ops.
Yeah, something like that is in the campaign. Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised, mate. To be honest, I don't think anyone plans on fucking playing it, do they? None of us lot, anyway.
No, none of us are gonna fucking touch it.
Sorry, it's just work shit. No, it wasn't really.
So yeah, that's
Kind of a big deal now, aren't we?
somehow.
Yeah, fuck Call of Duty. Anyway, what's next?
Um,
Steam Deck box.
we can either go in the Steam Deck box, Xbox box, or there's Outer Worlds 2.
Fuck out was too. Hold on, let's touch on something else. Dean keeps crying about. Please talk about Ghost of Yotai. Ghost of Yotai exists. Next.
No, I told you, neither of us have played it yet.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny because on the way here, I was thinking, should I buy that? Because I am kind of between a lot of games at the moment, and I'm back on that kind of, swords and shit. But I have played nothing at all this week, and I hope that changes in the next week. But if I carry on feeling as I do now, it's not going to.
Yeah.
I may never play a video game again. Or I may never play a game that large again.
So whilst it's one of the most amazing things that's happened with me and Ash now working together, and Connor and Daryl, Ash now has to get up like 3 hours earlier than we normally used to.
Yes.
So it's now, what time was you getting up normally?
But 6, 7:15.
Oh, and now you get up when?
4:30.
Oh, same time as me, baby.
Yeah.
Lovely. Half hour to shit and shave, and then an hour to get to the yard.
Yeah.
Or 40 minutes to get to the yard, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So my eyes are burning
Yeah.
past midday.
Yeah.
I'll adjust.
So Mark has platinumed Ghost of Yotai, and he said that it's very, very, very good, better than Ghost of Tsushima. So I will definitely play it. Completely forgot that Assassin's Creed Shadows exists.
Yeah.
Completely forgot. I will be playing that at some point. I'm just not. It's one of them ones where so many decent games released in 1 month, it fucking ruined it for me because there's just too much shit.
Yeah, it was overwhelming.
Far too much shit. I slogged through Dying Light, even though I really enjoyed it, to just fucking get that done. I'm now playing Outer Worlds 2. I fucking love it.
No, I'll tell you what, talk about that, because I'm just going to shut my eyes for a minute and let you wax lyrical about it, and I'll say yes and no and grunt every now and again. Just go on.
I love it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I was on...
Mm-hmm.
I'd played for 3 hours or 4 hours on the Friday, and then by the Sunday it was at 18 hours.
Wow.
There's just... It's so fun.
Great.
It's so much fun. But I really liked Outer Worlds 1.
Yeah.
So this just improves on Outer Worlds 2. And you've got these perks that you get throughout the game by doing various things. So like one that I've got at the moment, which I like but don't like at the same time. If you crouch enough times, it pops up with a perk, where your knees pop, but it makes you move 50% quicker when you are crouched. So I took that, and it's quite cool. There's also perks where if you stare at the sun, it's called like sun gaze or something like that, permanently blurs your vision.
Oh.
But I think it does, it's something like it makes you do 100% critical hit chance or something to do like 100% spread or some shit like that, but the entire rest of your playthrough is slightly blurred. And I was like, I ain't doing that because these are irreversible. Yeah. What else was there? There's been a couple that I've declined, because obviously you decline them, then that's permanent as well. You ain't getting them for the rest of it. I can't remember what some of them were. Some of them were pretty shit. Some of them were pretty good. There was one where if you're in sunlight, you're constantly healing, but the detrimental effect of it was pretty fucking awful. I think it was something like you had like 50% less health or some shit like that. I was like, nah, you're alright. I'll just eat a packet of crisps every time I'm a bit damaged. That makes more sense than doing something like that. I know that I'm really enjoying it because the first planet that I went to, I did absolutely everything on it. Every side quest, discovered everything. I spoke to every single person. I killed everything. It was just great. I was like, this is the bollocks. And I was trying to explain it to Steph, where I was like, I think I enjoy it so much because it's obviously a shooter. I won't say first person because you can go from first to third, but it's the character dialogues and the quests and all the different little side stories and the companions and the relationships you make, and this thing does this, and the perks that come alongside it, like lockpicking and engineering and stuff like that. So I've skilled into hacking, lockpicking and engineering as my main things. So that means that the majority of places I can get into. So makes your playthrough so much more different to someone who's like skilled into speech and leadership and melee weapons. And I like that because it just gives you that different dynamic.
Please explain to me what is better about this one that you've noticed this than the first one, because I honestly thought the first one was absolute dog water. And I love Obsidian games, and I love space games, and I love Fallout style games, which is all three of them things, but it felt as fucking deep as a puddle, the first one.
Kind of the same. There's a familiarity there. Because Outer Worlds 2 is completely separate to Outer Worlds 1, so you can play 2 without having touched Outer Worlds 1. It's in the same universe, has no connection to the characters of Outer Worlds 1 or the story at all. You're on a completely separate thing, so you don't have to have played the first game to understand what's going on in the second one. I get what you mean by story depth in the first one, because you were sort of just thrusted into it. And then the storylines that you were playing a part in, they were very shallow.
Not even just that. I just felt the game was just... It just felt like, it's hard to explain. Maybe like, when you play Fallout or something, Fallout 4, for example, and you go into a town and that, all the people are bowling about doing stuff. Whereas in like Outer Worlds, they was all just standing still in like the same places. They weren't really like, it wasn't like they were moving around doing shit. They just stand there, and then you go out in the middle of the night and they're still just standing there. It's just like that sort of.
I'd say it's better. It's better now. The people are actually the NPCs are actually doing stuff, and you can interact with most of them. And there is, when you go into a town or a city, there is more. I know what you mean. It felt very empty, whereas now it feels a little bit more hustle and bustle going on. I think the other thing is, if you compare like Fallout 4 to something like Outer Worlds, even Outer Worlds 2, the mapping's completely different. So obviously Fallout 4, or most of the Fallouts, I think all of them to be fair, completely open world. I know you can fast travel, but you can go from one end of the entire map to the other in one sitting if you wanted to. Outer Worlds you can't. It's a map by map system or planetary thing. And like I say, I'm like 20 something hours in now, and I've only just left the first planet. So I can't really speak for the other exploration side of it, but the first planet that I was on was very much the same. Not massive, not small, but that open world feeling was there, but you were also hyper aware that you're on one solitary map.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That's fine. I just felt like, I don't know, everything just felt shallow. Like you picked up the same shit constantly. There was not much loot variation. It was always the same loot in the boxes. There was never anything like, oh, that's great. That's what I find. I'm glad I looked down this corridor. And like I say, everyone stood still. The gunplay was fucking shite. The companions were shite. Their abilities were shite. I don't know why. I just really didn't like that game. The tongue-in-cheek comedy just didn't stick with me. I just thought it was fucking lame. And I wanted to like the game. It's it's exactly the sort of game that I love. But it just did not work for me, and I have no idea why. It just felt crap.
Chances are you won't like this then.
Yeah, that's why I haven't bothered with it.
Because it is very similar to Outer Worlds 1, but it's for me, I think it's better. I think the guns feel better, but it feels very, very similar, just improved upon.
Yeah.
But only on a smaller scale, but I'm coming from it of a mind where I really liked the first one. I had very little to complain about, so naturally I'm going to think, oh shit, they've made it a little bit better in Outer Worlds 2. For me, that's great. For you, it'll probably still be shit.
I will play it. It'll just be one of them I'll pick up when it's on PlayStation Plus or when it's like a score or 10 or whatever. But yeah, I've got nothing against it, and I will definitely try it. It just, the first one just didn't hit for me. Maybe it was just the time I played it and I weren't in the mood for it. I don't know. But I never gave it another chance, so maybe that's on me.
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. But there's not really much more I can speak on it, because even though I've put a couple of hours in, I haven't done much in terms of the game itself. I don't know how long it is to complete it. I haven't bothered looking it up. I'm not interested. I'm taking my time with it. I'm enjoying everything. And yeah, hopefully some point this weekend I get to fucking play it, because I haven't touched it since Sunday. I need to play it. Steam.
Oh yeah, I love Steam.
Steam, box, Xbox, box.
That's the only thing I have done this week. I put Steam Deck on for about 10 minutes and I was like, my eyes, and then I turned it off. I'm loving the Steam Deck at the moment, man. I've played that more than anything. I'm fucking in love with it, bro. I think I've even bought more games that I haven't even played just because that's what you do on Steam, isn't it?
Well, early 2026, you'll be able to play them on the big screen, mate.
Well, I do anyway. I just dock it.
Well, fuck the dock off and plug the PC in.
Well, yeah, there's the chance I might do that. But if I buy that, I don't need it, but I want it.
I've said
and
this
I don't
already.
even know what it does.
No, I don't need it. I'm going to buy it. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, Steam announced on a random Wednesday with no prior teasing whatsoever. They released a video showcasing 3 new things. The first thing is a controller, which is basically take a Steam Deck, rip the screen off, and then smush it together, and you have yourself the controller. It's got magnetic joysticks, so basically I think they're calling them anti-drift joysticks, which is quite cool. I believe the PS5 Pro controller does the same thing as well. And the coolest part about the controller is the charging. So it's just a dock that it comes with. So rather than having to plug the fucking thing in, blah, 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 you just dock it on and it clips in. And I believe the battery lasts for something like 35 hours. I think they showcased, which is pretty fucking cool.
Mental, to be honest.
And then they also there's customizable buttons and all sorts of other higgledy-piggledy. Looks like a cool controller. By the way, none of this stuff has a price point yet. There's nothing official that's come out saying the price. So fuck knows how much it costs.
I wonder if they do that because they want to gauge the reaction, interest, and then just see what people... Because people are going to talk about that all over Reddit, Discord, the YouTube comments, all that. I wonder if they kind of gauge the price on what they feel they can get.
The general consensus of what... So the second thing that they introduced was called the Steam Machine. And basically, it's a little cube with a customizable faceplate that you can take off and change with anything else.
And LED light.
And an LED light bar that's customizable. And basically, it is a PC. So the idea is that you're able to plug it in alongside your TV or wherever you want to plug it in, and it runs Steam OS. Not Windows, just straight Steam OS, so same thing with the Steam Deck. And you're able to play your entire Steam library. So they are branding it is a PC. So you're also able to access other applications and things like that from this tiny little cube. I'd say if you had a standard Rubik's Cube, it's probably like 3 times the size of that. So it's really not that big. It's very, very sweet.
It's a square Amazon Alexa.
Yes, there you go. Perfect. And they're saying that it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. It's got a partly custom AMD GPU, CPU. And I think from what I was reading, they're meant to have like a 2 terabyte version. And they said that it will run 4K 60 frames per second. Didn't say what games it will run that at though, because the Steam Deck also says it will run Cyberpunk and Baldur's Gate, and it runs them. I know your one will be different, but the standard one runs them terribly unless you really fucking dull down the settings. So saying that it runs 4K at 60 frames per second, that's great, but if it only does it with a fucking 2D £5 indie game, it's of no benefit to the majority. It's not a selling point. But going back to what Ash was saying about price point, a lot of people, from what I was reading, the general consensus is that they seem happy to pay between 600 and 700 quid because it is a PC. So this is being branded as a not entry level PC, but for the gamer that does not want to commit or just isn't interested in building a PC. So like me, for example, I have a laptop. I now have the room, because I'm in my own house, to have a full PC set up, a tower. I've got a dedicated room for all of this. Beforehand, I didn't. I still probably won't do it because I don't want to spend the money, and I use this mainly for fucking World of Warcraft. I don't need a tower and all the other shit. This plays it fine. So for me, that little Steam machine looks amazing. Yes, give me something. Give me that. Because I don't really like playing games on Steam on my laptop. I'd much rather sit down on the sofa and play it and all that shit. And I'm not interested in switching on the Steam Deck and getting a dock. It's just not for me. Whereas that little PC, I don't need it. You don't need it. I fucking want it. It looks sick. It's just a little cube that you can just plug into your telly. And if I want to plug it somewhere else, I'll pick it up and I'll fucking plug it somewhere else.
I just wonder what the difference is, though. I know it's 6 times more powerful than Steam Deck. What is the difference between that and me just fucking plugging my Steam Deck into the dock? Because it all pops up on the telly, it's all nice, it all runs at 60k, it's all beautiful. I use my PlayStation 5 controller, all links up, perfect.
Well, it'll run better.
But it runs perfect.
Yeah, but this will run better games, is the idea.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. What level of games are we talking about here?
I'm currently because also they released a VR announced a VR device.
VR's dead to me. It makes me feel sick.
I will still talk about it though, because did you look into any of that?
No.
It's very, very cool. Not enough to make me want to do it because it makes me feel sick.
Well, I genuinely believe Steam is one of the best companies for gaming in the world.
Steam right now is doing what Xbox should be doing.
Steam is. I tell you what, Steam's doing is filling Xbox's hole that they're leaving. So Xbox are leaving the PlayStation, the competitive gaming market, and probably more pushing, like stream anywhere kind of thing. And Steam is stepping in, going, hold on, we've got a new box that will fill it and make it the trio of gaming competitiveness again.
Yeah. So yeah, bang on. Xbox is moving towards the PC streaming thing. Let me have a look. I don't want to watch a video of it. I want to see a breakdown of it because there's already been a hands-on with the Steam machine and the controller and stuff like that. So people are aware of what's going on. Also, cool thing with the controller, because it's Steam, they've made it so that you can very, very easily take apart the controller and see the inner workings and change things around with the controller. It's held on. It's like 2 screws, so they encourage you to take it apart and fuck around with it. So let's have a look. So this time around, instead of partnering with outside manufacturers, Valve is building and releasing a singular Steam machine with the goal of being able to run all current games at 4K with upscaling. The secret behind this is an AMD RDNA 3 GPU with power roughly equivalent to an RTX 4060 or RX 7600 mobile graphics card. An RTX 4060 is chonky, decent. This might be disappointing to anyone looking to max out everything at high resolution, but it should have plenty of power while still being relatively affordable, in brackets we assume. Valve hasn't announced a price for the thing yet. I spent a day at Valve playing around with this new mini gaming PC, and while I haven't had the chance to run my usual gaming benchmarks, it looks like the new Steam machine might be a serious contender for your living room space. This is by Jacqueline Thomas, by the way, over at IGN, but I need a breakdown. On the surface, I don't know why they're calling it the new Steam machine. I know it's new, but saying the new Steam machine makes it sound like there was an old Steam machine, which I'm pretty sure there wasn't. Seems a lot like the old Steam machine. Well, what's the old Steam? I'm going to have to go off track here to have a look at the old Steam machine, because I don't know what that is. What you need to know about Steam machines? They were a thing? What? Steam machines are console-sized computers that feature PC components, run Valve's Linux-based operating system, SteamOS, and are compatible with Valve's wireless Steam. Comes with a slick... they did have things like that before then, but they were partnered with someone else. Okay, let me go back. So, blah, blah, blah. They're both gaming PCs with a modest spec and meant to run games on Valve's own Linux-based SteamOS. While the original machines had trouble selling, mostly due to high prices and a lack of Linux capability at the time, SteamOS has changed a lot over the last decade. The biggest part of this is Proton, Valve's compatibility layer that essentially translates Windows games to Linux, allowing you to play most of Steam's vast catalogue of games on SteamOS, even if they don't officially support Linux. Anyone that's used a Steam Deck over the last few years will know that most games run extremely well on SteamOS, sometimes even with performance that exceeds equivalent Windows 11 machines, as was the case with the SteamOS version of Lenovo Legion Go S. There are a few exceptions, notably some online multiplayer games with anti-cheat software that doesn't play nice with SteamOS, like Battlefield 6 and Destiny 2, but for the most part, if it's on Steam, it will run on SteamOS. The PC. So whilst I was at Valve playing games on the Steam machine, the company had a wide variety of games installed to show it off. The PC ran everything from Cyberpunk 2077 to Silent Hill F without any major issues, though the latter did have some performance trouble. Obviously, once I get the Steam machine in the lab, I'll be able to run a wider variety of games just to see how flexible it is, but for the time being, it seems like most games will run. Valve is also taking the Steam Deck Verified program from the Steam Deck and duplicating it for the Steam machine. Soon there will be 3 different verification badges, one for the Steam Deck, Steam machine, and the Steam Frame, the company's new VR headset. because the hardware isn't actually out yet. I'm not sure how widespread this will be. Blah 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 blah. Doesn't look like one. It's a tiny little black box with a slim RGB light bar across the front. Blah blah blah. The cube measures roughly 6 to 7 inches on each side and appears less than half the size of the Xbox Series X. It's closer in size to a GameCube. Front panel is magnetic, can be swapped out. I saw a Steam machine with a wood panel, which contrasted beautifully with the rest of the all-black chassis. Valve has hasn't confirmed whether or not it will be selling alternative front panels, but the company will release 3D printing files so you can make your own. Even that's quite nice.
Yes.
Because this is a desktop PC, there's a wealth of ports on offer with 2 USB-A ports, a micro SD port at the front. In the back, you'll find a display port, HDMI, 2 USB-A ports, and a USB-C port, along with a power connector. What's impressive, considering the machine size, is that the actual power supply is internal, which means you don't have to worry about fitting a giant power brick in your entertainment centre. A thin little cable, Prince. So this fucking brick here that you see won't fucking exist.
That's great.
That's amazing. I love that. Valve did open the Steam machine so I could get a brief look inside, and what I saw was impressive. A bulk of the space is taken up by a giant heatsink, which has an exhaust fan at the back that sucks air through the front and bottom of the device and expels it through the rear to keep the device operating cool. It's a bold design, especially considering the Steam machine's GPU is operating with a TDP, thermal design power, of 110 to 130 watts, blah, blah, blah. The bottom of the device houses the SSD, which will either be a 512 gig or a 2 terabyte drive, depending on which version you buy. The drive is easily replaceable by the user. Just like the Steam Deck, the Steam machine will ship with an NVMe 2230 drive. However, unlike Valve's handheld, the SSD slot has space for a full-sized 2280 drive, which are both more affordable and easier to find on store shelves. Don't get too hopeful about upgrading the device beyond the storage, though. The rest of the components are soldered on and will not be upgradable. That is a little bit disappointing. It says, especially given Valve's history of letting its users do whatever they want with their hardware. Blah, 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 blah. The Steam machine will also be available with the new Steam controller or without one, no matter whether or not you have the Steam machine bundled with the controller or not, though. The PC will have the controller's wireless dongle built in. Yeah, that's quite cool. So the dongle for the controller that they're bringing out is built into the PC itself. It sits on the side, on the inside of the casing, which is quite cool. They're calling it a little antenna. So come with the wireless dongle, tying things up with the RGB light bar with 13 lighting zones. So, lastly, I don't know what kind of software Valve is cooking up for the lighting control, though. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Specs and performance. This is the last bit that we want, yes?
Agreed.
The Steam machine is powered by a custom chip made by AMD and Valve with an RDNA-free GPU with 28 compute units, blah, which would place it roughly around blah, blah, blah. Already spoken about that. Not exactly the best graphics chip out there. This is paired with a 6-core Zen 4 CPU. But despite the modest specs, the Steam machine seems to be a capable gaming PC. I played Cyberpunk 2077 at 4K with the Ultra preset and FSR to set to performance, and the action stayed nice and smooth. I even went into the settings menu and turned on ray tracing, and performance seemed to stay solid, though I didn't have a frame counter up telling me exactly what kind of frame rate I was getting. Things were slightly different with Silent Hill F, though. After a lengthy process of installing the shaders, something every game seems to need to do these days, it defaulted to ultra settings at 4K with fucking TSR, in brackets temporal super resolution, instead of AMD's FSR. At these settings, Silent Hill struggled, chugging along at what seemed like 15 to 20 frames per second, not exactly what I'd call playable. After adjusting the settings down to a medium at 1440p with FSR enabled, things felt much better, but this just highlights that the Steam machine is still a gaming PC at the end of the day, for better or worse. Tweaking settings to optimize performance is a time-honored tradition among gaming PC gamers. but again, might be less appealing to people who just want to plug in and play. Valve says it intends for... There isn't much left. There's like one paragraph. Valve says it intends for the Steam machine to be able to play all current games at 4K with FSR upscaling, but there are going to be plenty of games, especially ones running on Unreal Engine 5, where you'll have to lower settings to get it running at a smooth frame rate. Ultimately, I'll have to get in the lab to benchmark. I'm sold.
Me too. I'm guessing you can get a keyboard and mouse for this shit.
Yeah, it's a PC. That's what all the ports and everything are. Yeah, you'll be able to...
Yeah, I don't want to fucking plug it in.
You wouldn't have to. You could still Bluetooth it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Bluetooth it and then just be a PC, but you can sit on your sofa.
It's a PC. It is a PC. You can connect a keyboard and a mouse to your Steam Deck.
Oh, it just sounds mental. I've already got... That's too confusing. I know it's the same.
You just Bluetooth
I know, but you've got a Steam Deck that's a fucking Steam Deck, then plugged into a dock, which is plugged into the telly, and then I'm using a fucking PlayStation 5 controller via Bluetooth, and then I'm going to connect a keyboard. That sounds like too much bullshit. What I want is a machine that I go beep, and then I'm ready to go.
Well, this is what you're going to have if you get the Steam machine. The fact that it doesn't have a power brick, an external power brick, I think is amazing.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the ball aches of having something like a laptop. Especially if you, obviously it wouldn't be that big, but imagine still half the size of that. If that was part of it, and you were if you were trying to plug a Steam machine into the telly, you've now got to find somewhere to rest that. Bloody, because they're heavy, you can't just have them dangling either, because it fucks the cables up. So the fact that you haven't got that, so you will just have the cable, is fantastic. So I'm going to assume if you've wirelessly connected your keyboard and your mouse to it, that's all you're going to have to do is have this little cube, and it's going to be 2 plugs, an HDMI for the telly and a fucking power plug. That is it. Which is piss. My laptop has more than that going on with all the fucking other stuff added to it.
I just have a real fucking love for shit like where I can just play that and then be like, right, I'm fucking loving this shit, but I've got to go and stay at my in-laws to look after their dogs, and I'll just take my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And I can carry on what I was doing.
Yeah.
That is just great.
Or you just unplug the little
Steam machine. Just take the cube with you, man.
Take it with you.
Just take the cube. You can put it in your pocket, for fuck's sake.
It's smaller than a GameCube. You can literally just pick it up, put it in your bag. And a magnetic faceplate at the front. I've seen the one with a wooden... Have you seen the one with the wooden faceplate?
I saw the one that they replaced it on the thing, on the trailer.
The wooden... it just looks amazing.
I don't care. I'll just get Darth Vader.
It looks so good.
Darth Vader on the front, looking menacing. Yeah.
I think it looks... It will just be the same as a Steam Deck, but a PC version.
I love Steam, I do.
I would imagine it will have the same ability to be able to swap in and out like with Steam Deck from Steam OS to Linux, which I'm going to assume you haven't done.
I did it once and it terrified me, so I turned it back.
That's fine. It terrified me too. But I'm going to assume it will be the same thing, so it will run the OS will be exactly the same as Steam Deck. I just think Steam are just a great company. Like every single day, I see Reddit posts. I don't know why I get notifications of random shit from Reddit, but I do. And every day it's someone saying, my Steam Deck broke and it was 3 years out of warranty, and I asked them fucking for a new charger, and they just sent me a new Steam Deck. And it's just like, why are they so brilliant? And I tell you why they're brilliant. Because it keeps customers for life. Well, here you go. You was wondering why you would have this rather than just docking your Steam Deck. While the Steam Deck is plenty powerful for running PC games on its 800p display, it can't really handle higher resolutions very well, especially when you connect it to a 4K TV. The Steam machine, then, is the answer. This is a living room gaming PC that should be able to play most games at 4K, assuming you're okay with upscaling from 1080p. But of course, most gaming PCs should be able to do that these days. And while the Steam machine will have to be contended with similarly spec'd gaming PCs that can be upgraded, I don't think this is for the traditional DIY hardware enthusiast. Rather, this feels more like a PC for console gamers. which is fucking you and probably me.
Probably me.
People who don't play games on PC until the Steam Deck hit the market in 2022, which is you. It runs the same operating system and has the same library, only it will be able to play games at much higher settings. After all, Valve claims the Steam machine is up to 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, so it should avoid situations like Baldur's Gate 3, where the second you load into Act 3 on the handheld, your frame rate slows to a crawl.
Yeah,
So if the Steam Deck, this last paragraph is for you. So if the Steam Deck made you flirt with the idea of PC gaming, which it did, the Steam machine looks like it will be a great next step, especially as games get increasingly more demanding as we head into the next generation of consoles. For everyone else that already had a gaming PC, at least the hardware support for SteamOS is starting to broaden a bit.
I've got a gaming PC though, and it's sick.
Yeah.
I don't use it.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'll know this straight away. I imagine. Do you reckon you could play WoW on that?
Yes.
Because you can switch it over to like the browser thing.
Yes.
Interesting.
You'd have to follow the same guide that I would imagine that you have to follow on Steam Deck because it's run through Linux. So you have to download a load of shit. But yeah, you would be able to, the same way you could run it on Steam Deck, you'd be able to run it on the Steam machine. I know, it's quite cool.
That was my.
It is quite cool.
Here we go, grin.
But obviously, fucking, they're bringing. What was it where I was talking about? Where I can't remember where BattleNet had got mentioned as it's going to be able to run on. Oh yeah, the next Xbox that's coming out, that will probably be a PC rather than an Xbox console, will run natively BattleNet. It will be an application that's already on there, hinting at the idea that WoW will be coming to console in the very near future. So yeah, you would be able to download World of Warcraft onto the Steam machine. I'm going to imagine the same way you do on the Steam Deck. Arguably, it might be even easier because I'm going to assume, even though it's the same operating system, it won't be exactly carbon copied. The SteamOS maybe, but the Linux side of it, difficult to tell. Certainly be easier to work with, because your main issue with having the laptop was that you couldn't set it up comfortably, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, but then the same thing will happen on this though, because then I'll just have to have a fucking keyboard and mouse on my lap.
Yeah, but you were also able to play it with controller pretty well. So you'd be able
to a standard, yeah.
So you would be able to set it up and just kick back with a controller instead. But also, since the last time you played fucking WoW, they brought out a 1-button rotation. So for the immediate, whilst you'd be learning it, you can literally have it so that it's one button does your entire rotation and your cooldowns are separate. So you still click them individually, but it's literally one button that just cycles through, and it's extremely intuitive. So it's able to change on a.
I mentioned this before, but you miss out on 0.3 of damage, and then obviously for the min-maxers that's no good.
It's still competitive, which is the scary thing. A lot of people use it.
It's just cheating, then, isn't it? Really,
it's accessibility.
Yeah,
is what it's branded as.
Yeah, it's accessibility, but unless that gap's large enough, it's cheating. There has to be a clear. If you go into a fight with someone,
it's large enough.
You've played it long enough. You go into a fight with someone that does that. If you can't kill them comfortably, I'd say that's cheating.
You can. It's large enough for you to not use it typically on the end game. No, people do because you can. But that is where it's heading towards, that console releasing, trying to work that out. But I'm saying, if you were to have the Steam machine, get WoW on that, and then you wanted to play it on controller, but it was too daunting at the time, there's a button there now that enables you to break through into that and then start working out, go, all right, well, I want to move away from just one button so that I can use multiple buttons. So rather than you jumping in going, fuck, there's 50 abilities and I have to somehow macro them to a controller, no, now there's one main button and your cooldowns. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
What's the buttons?
What's the buttons? Exactly. What's the buttons for this? I'm excited for it. The VR, neither of us are interested in VR, but I am interested in the hardware that's come with it. So this VR headset that they've announced, the VR frame, has eye tracking on the headset itself. It looks very comfortable. It looks like a big, massive pair of goggles that just engulf the fucking eyeballs of your face. Something that you'd notice with the PlayStation VR is that trying to focus it is a right cunt, and whenever you move it, it blurs certain aspects of it. That won't be a thing on the Steam VR, so where it'll be independently tracking your eyes. It's also got local storage, as far as I'm aware, so streaming won't be so much of an issue. It will run better. Other than that, I couldn't really give a fuck. It's wireless, which is always nice. We love a wireless headset, especially for VR. That's something that very, very nice. It's not the only one that we do in it, but very nice. So yeah, that's all I'll say.
I think it's fantastical, and I can't wait to play it like. And I will definitely fucking buy it because I'm a greedy cunt.
And that is about it. See you later, everyone. We're going to go and do the Patreon. Hooroo!